Hello, my name is Apple, and you are listening to AppleKnows channel. Today I will take you on a journey through facts that sound so unreal, your mind will struggle to accept them, yet every single one is true. Let us begin with a reminder of how strange our world really is. Imagine this: there are more stars in the universe than grains of sand on every beach on Earth. The number is so immense that if you tried to count them one by one, it would take you longer than the age of the universe itself. And yet, here we are, a small planet orbiting just one of those countless stars. Now, let me shock you with something closer to home. Did you know that bananas are berries, but strawberries are not? Biology does not care about what we call fruit in the supermarket. Under scientific classification, bananas fit the definition of a berry, while strawberries fail it completely. So next time someone offers you a berry smoothie, you might already know that science and reality often play different games. Our own bodies hold secrets just as strange. Right now, inside you, there are more bacteria than human cells. You are, in a way, more of a walking ecosystem than an individual. These microbes help you digest food, regulate your immune system, and even influence your mood. Scientists have found that some of your thoughts and cravings are not entirely yours, they may be whispers of the microscopic life living within you. Let me give you another twist. The fingerprints of a koala are almost indistinguishable from human fingerprints. In fact, under a microscope, they look so similar that in crime scenes, police have mistaken koala prints for human ones. Nature, it seems, has a dark sense of humor. And if you think time is something we understand, think again. Every single day, Earth gains about 60 tons of cosmic dust from space. This means that our planet is constantly growing, layer by invisible layer, as if the universe itself is sprinkling pieces of itself onto us. And speaking of time, right now you are technically moving through space at a speed of 107,000 kilometers per hour because that is how fast Earth orbits the Sun. You do not feel it, yet you are racing faster than any rocket humanity has ever built. Perhaps you wonder about life beyond our world. Here is a thought that might keep you awake tonight. There is a type of jellyfish known as Turritopsis dohrnii that is biologically immortal. When threatened, it can revert its cells back to their earliest form and begin its life cycle all over again. In theory, this jellyfish never has to die. It is nature's loophole against time itself. But humans too have their share of impossible-sounding records. Your brain, for example, generates enough electricity to power a light bulb. Right now, as you listen, the tiny sparks firing between your neurons are stronger than you imagine. And if stretched out, all the blood vessels in your body could wrap around Earth more than twice. You are far more extraordinary than you realize. Think about this: there is a species of octopus that can edit its own genetic code. Unlike humans, who are mostly locked into the DNA we are born with, these octopuses can rewrite instructions in their RNA, effectively changing how their bodies function in response to their environment. It is like being able to reprogram yourself when the world around you shifts. And speaking of adaptability, here is something hard to grasp. The Sahara Desert, which we now see as endless sand, was once a lush green paradise filled with rivers, lakes, and forests. Only about 6,000 years ago, people lived and farmed there. Evidence shows that giraffes and elephants roamed what is now dry wasteland. In the scale of Earth's history, that was just a moment ago, which means deserts may not be as permanent as we think. Now let us step into the world of animals again. Did you know that sharks existed before trees? Sharks have been swimming in the oceans for more than 400 million years, while trees appeared around 350 million years ago. When you look at a shark, you are staring into a survivor older than forests. They watched Earth transform, and they are still here. But age is not the only mind-bending record. Consider this: water can boil and freeze at the same time. It is called the triple point, a condition where temperature and pressure are exactly right for all three states, solid, liquid, and gas, to coexist. This is not science fiction, but laboratory reality. And here is something about your everyday life that might disturb you. Your phone carries more bacteria than a public toilet seat. Every swipe and tap leaves behind invisible colonies that grow with time. Yet we hold it close to our face daily. The same phone, however, also contains more computing power than NASA had when they landed humans on the moon. Think about that contradiction. The dirtiest thing you own is also one of the most powerful. Let me take you even further. If you could fold a piece of paper 42 times, it would reach the moon. It sounds impossible, because in practice you cannot fold a sheet of paper more than a few times, but mathematically, each fold doubles its thickness. Exponential growth quickly goes from harmless to unimaginable. The same principle drives technology, viruses, and even the universe itself. And since we are talking about unimaginable distances, here is something shocking. Neutron stars, the remnants of massive collapsed stars, are so dense that a teaspoon of their matter would weigh about 1 billion tons on Earth. This means you could hold in your hand more weight than mountains, more gravity than you could ever imagine, compressed into something smaller than sugar. Right now, every 2 minutes, humanity takes more photos than all of humanity took in the entire 19th century. We live in an age where memories are captured more often than they are lived, and most of those images will vanish into digital dust within decades, leaving future historians wondering how to reconstruct our lives. Now think about this. There is a place on Earth where gravity is weaker than expected. It is called the Hudson Bay Anomaly in Canada. Because of melted glaciers and the shifting mantle beneath, the pull of gravity there is less than in other regions. If you weighed yourself in Hudson Bay, you would be lighter, not by much, but enough that Earth's surface is not as uniform as we think. Our own bodies hide something equally surreal. You are made of stardust, literally. Almost every atom in your body was formed in the heart of exploding stars billions of years ago. The iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, the oxygen you breathe, all born in cosmic furnaces. You are not just on the universe, you are of the universe. Now here is one of my favorite unsettling truths. Antarctica holds about 70% of the world's fresh water, locked in its ice. If it were all to melt, global sea levels would rise by over 60 meters, swallowing entire cities and nations. And yet, in some places in Antarctica, there are dry valleys that have not seen rain for nearly 2 million years. A frozen desert within the coldest continent. Let me twist your perception further. The longest living creature ever discovered is not a whale or a tortoise, but a quahog clam named Ming, which lived for more than 500 years before scientists accidentally ended its life while studying it. Imagine a creature silently existing through centuries, watching empires rise and fall without ever moving more than a few meters. And here's something you will never look at the same way again. The Great Pyramid of Giza was once the tallest structure on Earth for more than 3,800 years. But what most people don't realize is that its alignment with true north is almost perfect, with an error of less than 0.067 degrees. Modern engineering still struggles to achieve such precision on that scale. Ancient builders, without modern tools, managed something so exact that it defies logic. Finally, let us look at the sky. When you gaze at distant stars, you are not seeing them as they are now but as they were in the past. Some of the light reaching your eyes tonight left its star before humans even existed. You may already be looking at stars that no longer exist, but whose ghostly light continues to travel toward you across the void of space. Let us begin with something happening inside you right now. Every second, your body produces about 25 million new cells. By the time you finish listening to me say this sentence, you have created more cells than there are people on Earth. And yet, you never feel it happening. Now picture this. On Saturn's moon Titan, it rains methane instead of water. Lakes and rivers there are filled with liquid natural gas. If you stood on its surface, you would see alien landscapes that look familiar: rivers, seas, even clouds, but made of chemicals that on Earth would be deadly. It is like another version of our planet, rewritten with a different recipe. Back on Earth, here is a fact about your brain. The storage capacity of the human brain is estimated to be around 2.5 petabytes. That is the equivalent of about 3 million hours of TV shows. If you started watching non-stop, 24 hours a day, you would need more than 300 years to fill it up. And yet, most of us cannot remember where we left our keys yesterday. And speaking of memory, let me take you into history. There is a tree in California called Methuselah that is nearly 5,000 years old. When the pyramids of Egypt were being built, that tree was already growing. It has seen every chapter of human civilization and is still alive today, quietly standing, older than most of human history itself. Now consider this unsettling truth about Earth's oceans. We have explored less than 5% of them. That means the vast majority of our own planet remains a mystery. Scientists believe millions of undiscovered species live in the deep, and some of them may look so alien, they would seem like creatures from another world. In fact, we know more about the surface of Mars than the bottom of our oceans. Here's a twist that will change how you see animals. Crows and ravens are not just smart, they can remember human faces, hold grudges, and even pass down knowledge across generations. Entire crow populations can recognize a dangerous human and warn each other, like passing along a criminal record. If you ever mistreat one, you may have just made an enemy for life. And finally, let me bring you back to the universe. Black holes, those mysterious monsters of space, are so powerful that they can bend light itself. But what is stranger is that time near a black hole slows down. If you were to orbit close to one and return to Earth, you would find that years had passed here while only hours passed for you. A black hole is not just an object, it is a doorway to a different rhythm of reality. Right now, as you breathe, you are inhaling atoms that once passed through the lungs of dinosaurs. The air on Earth is a recycled system, and the oxygen molecules you take in today may have been inside Julius Caesar, Cleopatra, or even a creature from millions of years ago. Every breath is history itself. Now imagine this. In the center of our galaxy, the Milky Way, there is a massive cloud of alcohol floating in space enough to make 400 trillion pints of beer. Of course, it is not drinkable in the way we know it, but the fact that space contains ingredients for life and even intoxicating substances is both mind-bending and strangely human. Back on Earth, let me tell you about your skeleton. It is not a permanent structure. Every 10 years, almost your entire skeleton is replaced as your body renews old bone tissue. You are, in a very real sense, not the same person physically as you were a decade ago. You are constantly rebuilding yourself, piece by piece, without ever noticing. And here is something truly bizarre. The tongue of a blue whale can weigh as much as an elephant, and its heart is so massive that a human could theoretically swim through its arteries. Yet despite their size, blue whales feed almost entirely on tiny krill, creatures smaller than your finger. The largest animal to ever exist depends on some of the smallest. Now let us take a trip into the world of perception. Did you know that your eyes can distinguish more shades of green than any other color? Evolution gave us this gift because our ancestors needed to survive in forests, spotting food, predators, and shelter hidden in the greenery. What you see is not random, it is shaped by survival written into your biology. And here's a thought that will make you question time itself. The Oxford University has a bell, the Oxford Electric Bell, that has been ringing almost continuously since 1840. For more than 180 years, its batteries have not run out. Scientists still don't know exactly why. It just keeps ringing, outlasting generations of people who tried to explain it. Finally, let me give you one more reality check. In your DNA, you carry about 8% of viral code. That means ancient viruses that once infected your ancestors left behind fragments of themselves, and those fragments became part of your genetic blueprint. You are, in part, built out of ancient viruses. Life and disease, creation and destruction, forever intertwined. Let's dive even further, because the more we uncover, the more reality feels unreal. Think about this, in the deepest parts of the ocean, there are creatures that live their entire lives without ever seeing sunlight. Some of them create their own light through bioluminescence, glowing in the darkness like living stars. In fact, scientists estimate that around 80% of deep-sea organisms can produce light. The ocean is not just water, it is a galaxy beneath our feet. Now here is a fact that will make you rethink numbers. The game of chess has more possible moves than there are atoms in the observable universe. Every decision branches into unimaginable possibilities, and yet humans have been playing and mastering this game for centuries, tapping into complexity that dwarfs creation itself. Let me bring you back to space. If you could somehow drive a car upwards into the sky at normal highway speed, you would reach space in just about an hour. That is how close the edge of our world really is. We imagine space as something unreachable, but it is only a short trip above the clouds. And here's something hidden in plain sight. The Amazon rainforest produces about 20% of the world's oxygen, but what most people don't realize is that it consumes almost all of it as well. The real oxygen factory of the Earth is the ocean, where microscopic plants called phytoplankton create the majority of the air we breathe. The greatest lungs of the planet are not forests but the sea. Now let's talk about survival. There is a tiny creature called the tardigrade, or water bear, that can live through almost anything: freezing, boiling, radiation, even the vacuum of space. It can dry out completely, pause its life, and then rehydrate decades later as if nothing happened. If Earth were destroyed, tardigrades might be the last witnesses to our planet's story. And here is something disturbing about your own perception of time. Your brain does not experience reality instantly. Everything you see, hear, and feel is delayed by about 80 milliseconds as your brain processes information. What you think of as the present is actually already the past. You never truly live in the now, you are always slightly behind. Finally, let me shake your view of history. Cleopatra lived closer in time to the invention of the iPhone than to the building of the Great Pyramid. The pyramids were already ancient when she ruled Egypt, yet in our imagination, we often place them side by side. Time stretches and collapses in ways that defy our assumptions. Then let us bring this journey to a close. You have traveled with me through galaxies and oceans, through the hidden truths of your own body and the mysteries of deep time. Every fact we uncovered was a reminder that the world is far stranger, richer, and more astonishing than we usually allow ourselves to see. Remember this: reality does not need fiction to shock us, it already holds secrets beyond imagination. From immortal jellyfish to stars older than history, from the breath of dinosaurs inside your lungs to the vast oceans of lightless life beneath us, the universe is a book we have only just begun to read. This is AppleKnows channel, and I thank you for staying with me through this journey. Keep questioning, keep wondering, and never forget, sometimes the most unbelievable stories are the ones that are absolutely true.